Welcome everyone. Today again I have with me Monty for the post show. Monty Panesar, we've discussed so much about this game and how this pitch has played out. What do you say? What a victory for India! And now it's all square. We are set up for a good series, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great series now, and it really depends on the conditions that India produce in Ahmedabad. Are they going to go for the sort of turning pitches, and or do they think for the advertisement of Test cricket in India, they want to see 4 or 5 day Test matches? I guess that's entirely up to them. They're probably thinking at one point they want to be, in the final of the Championship. And then there's the argument of, well, we get green pitches in South Africa, India, well, in South Africa, England, even in Australia. So why can't we produce turning pitches? It's just about how you apply yourself. So that will be an interesting debate, I'm sure, amongst a lot of people in the cricketing circles.
It would be, I think, it would be a bit contentious because of the dilemma you just talked about, that whether we should endorse Test cricket properly or should we just go all out for that Test Championship final. It will depend on how the management thinks, how the Indian team thinks. Let's move on to our next segment, which we have brought to you. We will rate some of the players. Monty will graciously do that for us. I will tell you some players, Monty, and just give us a number out of 10 and how you would rate their game in this test, of course. First, we'll talk about the England skipper, Joe Root. He's been in fabulous form, a bit of a purple patch, but last two times we've seen he got out of a sweep shot, then he almost got out of a reverse sweep. Last two innings have not been that lucrative for him. So, how do you rate Joe Root's performance in this test?
Yeah, I think eventually once he scores so many runs, he probably came up against conditions which were slightly more turning than he's used to. He's used to, I think, playing on slightly flatter pitches when he comes out to bat. So I think, in my opinion, he kind of found it difficult. I think he found it difficult on the ball that's turning a bit. And Ashwin, I think is a very smart bowler. He's always changing his load ups, changing his wrist positions. So I think that makes it difficult for Joe Root to sort of, I think, line Ashwin up. And I think that's the real battle. That's going to be the key battle of the series: Joe Root versus Ashwin. And then after that, if they get Joe Root out early, or he's not able to play freely, then India feel very much on top.
And as you talked about Ashwin, we will move on to him only next. How valuable has he become, not just as a bowler, but now as a batsman as well to the team? He's also taken some leadership initiative at times, talking to Virat Kohli consistently. He has become a jewel for India, I think.
Yeah, he's been absolutely, brilliant. I think the turnaround for him was in Sydney when he drew, they drew that Test match, and his batting has really, evolved and got much better. And now you kind of get the impression that he's like thinking, what is the bowler going to do, while he's batting? And I think when he's batting, he's probably thinking what the batsman's going to do. So I think it's really helping his game. When he bats well, I think it helps his bowling and batting, and he can sort of, think what the batsman is thinking while he's bowling, and he's able to get wickets.
I think most all-rounders go through this phase when one facet of your game is feeding into the other, and I think that's happening with Ashwin right now. Let's move on to the other player of India, Rishabh Pant. I think he's batted fabulously. He's been hitting almost everything out of the park. So, coupled with his keeping, how impressed have you been with Rishabh Pant?
Yeah, his keeping has really come through, and I think throughout this Test match we've seen the likes of Ben Foakes and Rishabh Pant both done really well. So it kind of like spurs you on, doesn't it? Rishabh Pant's probably thinking, oh well, Ben Foakes has kept well, and Rishabh Pant is equal, to the task. And today he was unbelievable. Some of the takes he took today was magnificent, and there was one in particular of Ashwin where probably Joe Root having a bit of banter saying that's one for the over. And what a catch that was. So there's good harmony amongst the team, both teams. I think one of the outstanding moments probably was the keeping throughout this Test match.
Definitely, I think both the keepers were chopping behind the stumps and they were equal to the task with their keeping skills as well. Let's move on to another big player for India, that is Rohit Sharma. I think the way he batted in the first innings itself single-handedly probably took the game away from England. How good has he been in this test so far? Because he has made the transition from white ball to cricket to white clothing, and that's been a little tough. But now he seems to be coming into the zone of opening in Test cricket.
Yeah, he's done really well. He's like, I think the game was won in on the first day.
Yes.
That lunch tea session was when the game was won, to be honest. And the way Rohit Sharma batted took the game away. Them extra sort of 100 runs, I think, were vital. That would have it's a momentum shift. Once you get such a huge task, you kind of think, we haven't bowled very well. And like I said before, I thought when Joe Root came on to bowl on the first day, you could see the frustration, thinking, "What are my spinners doing? This wicket is turning square, and you've got to be just astute and proactive." And I think the spinners, yeah, it's difficult for them. They technically the Indian batsmen probably play spin better, so they've just got to be a bit more. They've got to just mix it up a little bit and not just keep bowling the same deliveries and become very predictable.
Yeah, I think that would be the advice for the English spinners. Last player I want to talk to you about is he's one of the two players who criticized the wicket of Chennai along with Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes and Stuart Broad did criticize the Chennai pitch for its spitting venom's nature. Stuart Broad hasn't bowled much in this test. Do you think he should have been utilized more? Because sometimes it was looking like the spinners are getting fatigued, and there was an option to explore with Ollie Stone and Stuart Broad. They could have been utilized more. What do you think about Stuart Broad's utilization of Joe Root?
Yeah, look, I thought Stuart Broad could have played, could have bowled earlier with the new ball, possibly in the second innings. He created a couple of chances with Ashwin, which got dropped. But that's something that I think both Jimmy Anderson or Stuart Broad, new ball, you just give it to them. Doesn't matter what the conditions are. They're fine bowlers. And something that's what maybe Stuart Broad should be saying. Look, just give me the new ball, even if it's turning. I'll able to produce you chances. So that's something that Joe Root needs to consider and think. Regardless of the conditions, you just go to Joe Root. Well, you go to Stuart Broad or Jimmy Anderson, depending who's playing. They have the rotation policy at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see who plays in the next Test match. I'm sure it'll be Jimmy Anderson coming back, but because of the pink ball test, will the Indian fans and world cricket, see them together for the pink ball test, and that'll be very much dependent on how the conditions are when they practice with the pink ball. If it suits both of them playing.
And I think when you have 500 plus wickets, you'd surely be disappointed when you don't get to bowl earlier. But that's what happened. Joe Root preferring to go with his spinners more. Let's talk about the highlights of the scorecard. England 164 all out in the fourth innings. Of course, Rory Burns got out early, 25 runs for him. Dom Sibley got out even earlier, 3 runs. Not many notable contributions. Joe Root tried to stay there at the crease for some time. 33 of 92, got dropped off Siraj once as well. Ollie Pope was looking a bit comfortable, but he got out also to a sweep. Moeen Ali 43 of 18, 3 4s and 5 6s. IPL auction is around, and Moeen Ali might have orchestrated his abilities in this match. And again, Indian bowling card was absolutely fabulous. Axar Patel, fifer in his debut. And Ravichandran Ashwin, 3 wickets for him. Mohammad Siraj just bowled the 3 overs. 2 wickets for Kuldeep Yadav as well. And that's it for the coverage of the India versus England test. And now we move on to, of course, the much awaited IPL auction. I think everyone has their eyes struck on this IPL auction. Everyone would be waiting which players would set it on fire. I have 2-3 questions for you, Monty, about the IPL auction. So first of all, I think not many teams have so much money left in their purse. Which teams do you think will be the most active in this auction? Which teams would like to buy the most players?
Well, I think Kolkata Knight Riders will look to get a useful addition. Useful. I think they need a good all rounder in their team. So I think Moeen Ali could be looking to going to Kolkata Knight Riders. Owen Morgan is there. That could be a potential buy for them. But then then we have also Rajasthan Royals. I think they need to bolster their sort of strong batting lineup. But Moeen Ali may go back to Rajasthan Royals. They may just buy him again, seeing that performance. Virat Kohli may just think, he should come back to my team because with that batting and bowling performance.
Definitely, I think. And Kings 11 Punjab, they have 53 crores left in their purse. There were some surprise releases in their team. They'll also be, I think, a very active team in the auctions along with Rajasthan Royals. And next question to you is, there were some surprise releases before the auction to me, before the window closed. What do you think about the releases of Chris Morris? Daniel Sams was traded. Steve Smith, Moeen Ali was released. That was a bit of a surprise. Punjab released Mujibur Rahman and Sheldon Cottrell, who did fairly well for them. What do you think about these surprise releases? Were there surprises for you?
I think Cottrell wasn't, a surprise for me. I think he gave too many runs away, early time. Didn't really the wickets they were expecting from him. He didn't really get. He's a fast bowler, and he didn't really bowl very well at the death. So yeah, I think and definitely I thought he was they were going to release. Glenn Maxwell's another one. Didn't perform at all for Kings 11 or Punjab Kings. That's what they're called now. Yeah, Glenn Maxwell could be a quite a I reckon some teams may go for him, but or he may not get as the price he needs, but he could be a handy investment for one of the teams.
He could be definitely. And which are the players you are keeping your eye on for this auction? Who are the players that could start a bidding war between teams? There are some players that have come into this auction and they will be looking to get bought by teams. They've been performing in the BBL as well, some of the players and other leagues around the world. Which are the two, three players that you will be looking at who will set the auction on fire this time?
Well, obviously the one with right now is right time, right place. You look at Moeen Ali. He could be it could be a huge bidding war for him. And then there's obviously a few of the other players as well. Who could allow that. So I think it'll be interesting to see how the auction sets out.
And I think apart from that, Alex Hales, top scorer of the BBL, he could be in the fray. David Malan, number one T20 player in the world right now, number one T20 batter rather. Do you think teams will bid for David Malan? Because the game he has, it's a fine balance between finesse, big hitting, and hitting into the gaps consistently. Do you think teams will bid for a guy like David Malan in this IPL auction?
Yeah, look, I think David Milan's number one in the world, and I'm sure there'll be teams out there who would need just a top order batsman, to get them off to a flying start. And Alex Sells had a fantastic, BBL, so I expect him to get signed up. And then there's a veteran, Harbhajan Singh. He's in the auction, so he's got a fantastic record, and I'm sure he probably wants a couple of more years or at least another year in the IPL. So I'm sure he'll get an opportunity somewhere because with his experience and he's played for over 10 years. He could be a good buy for a team too.
I'll tell you, he's a lot hungry right now because he's given statements on many occasions that there's a lot of cricket left in him, and that's what you like to see from players. Brad Hogg is an example, playing till the age of 45, 46 years. It's been lovely to watch him bowl, stick his tongue out on many occasions. And the IPL auction awaits us, of course, 18th February, live from Chennai, 3:30 p.m. The coverage will start. We'll also give you updates about that. Thank you for talking to us, Monty. It was lovely catching up with you about the IPL auction. Great insights into what could happen at the auction. We'll see you again, of course, with another day, another update, another story. Till then, keep watching Sports Tiger. Have a good night today. India's won the game as well.
Thank you very much.